In this video, I'll help you turn this into this using totally free softwares. Let's get into it. I recently acquired Dwarf 3 telescope and it's an awesome device for beginners, but one of the big problems that I find is that many beginners don't really know how to make the most of their data. But fear not, I'm going to walk you through how to process your image in this video. We'll be using 3 free softwares, SIRIL, StarNet, and Graxpert. Don't worry, it's not that hard. Because there are a lot of videos already out on YouTube about how to install these softwares, I will not be covering the installation process, but if you get stuck or want me to make a full installation tutorial, type it in the comments below and I'll make it for you. That said, let's get into it. First of all, we need to import files, light frames from Dwarf 3 to our SIRIL directory. To do that, go to your Dwarf 3 directory and photos should be here in astronomy section. And I've already renamed this folder called Lagoon Nebula. And it's got a bunch of files. It's got all the frames, including failed ones. And you know how it says here, failed. That means probably the system in Dwarf 3 has thought it's not worthy. But we will include that as well. So copy paste all these live frames. And then if you're using Windows, go to Pictures and go to Lights. And here we're going to paste them. All right, once this is done, we go to SIRIL and it should take a moment to load up. There we go. Now in the SIRIL, first thing I want you to do is go to this 3 dots and go to Get Scripts because we will need scripts to make processing easier. First of all, I want to make sure the statistical stretch is enabled. So make sure it's got tick on it. I also want DSA start reduction. Make sure it's got tick on it. And finally, I want NAS Astronomy Smart Telescope script and make sure it's got tick on it. Once that's all ticked up, you press apply and off you go. Now, you will find these scripts in scripts, Python scripts, and I want you to go to NAS Astronomy Smart Telescope because that's what we'll be using to stack our images. Now, NAS Astronomy have made this so easy. So yeah, good on you, NAS. So choose your telescope. In my case, it's Dwarf 3. And then if you have calibration frames, darks, flats, biases, tick these. Because I don't have any of them, I don't mind. I will tick cleanup files because I'm running a bit short on space. But if you have a good hard drive, you don't have to worry about this. Now there is optional steps, background extraction. You can use this if you have taking images during moonlit nights where gradients will change. So feel free to do that if you want. I'm not going to do it because it was a clear night. And I also enable SPCC. Now, you can only use that if you have local Gaia available. Now, I've got another video on that, how to enable download the local Gaia catalog, and I'll put that link up. Feel free to use that, but this is not necessary, but I find that very useful. And once you click on that, you will have these options. OSC filter. For the filter that I use for Dwarf 3 was dual band, so I'm just going to click on that. And yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna start the process of stacking. So now what this does is essentially processes the files and starts stacking them. It even plate solves them. SIRIL is so powerful, and I really recommend using this. So this is the stacked image. And the first thing I do is that I move it from linear to auto stretch because I want to see the data here. As you can see, there is both a lot of noise, a lot of busy image, and we're going to clean it up a little bit. Now, the first thing that I do is perform a crop. Now, to do that, I usually go to histogram because I'm just overblowing the image to see where the imperfections are, right? So I'm going to crop it from here, I think. Now, this is very subjective, right? So you might find that this is not cropping a lot, or you might find that it's cropping too much. I'm happy for you to do whatever you want, but this is what I'm comfortable with. There you go. So now I've got edges clean, which is what I want, and I go linear mode. Auto stretch mode. Next, I want to fix the colors. So the image has already been plate solved because I use spectrophotometric color collaboration in the NAS Astronomy plugin or script. So to correct the colors even further, I will go color collaboration, spectrophotometric color collaboration, calibration. I hate that word. And then this is fine for my image. I use HSV Boni UHC because I think that's the equivalent of what dual band filter is in Dwarf 3. And yeah, I'll press OK, and it will do its magic. There you go. See how I fixed the colors? It's more red now instead of being yellowish. Yeah, so that's fixed. Next, I want to do some background extraction. So go to change the mode to histogram again, and I want to see where the background is. And I am going to make sure that we are extracting that background. So go to image processing, and there's a tool called background extraction. Samples per line 5 is fine for me. I've just turned this right down because I want more control over it. So generate, and it will generate a few red boxes. I will just manually put a few more boxes where I see the background. So the point is essentially you don't want these red boxes to be anywhere near nebula or stars. You want to select the background essentially. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to click it here. I think I might click here as well. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's press compute background. There you go. So it has corrected the background. Awesome. Now let's put it back to its auto stretch mode. You can see what this has done. So I'll show you before, after it's corrected the background, which is awesome. Next, go to, you can see some green stuff, right? And I don't like green stuff. So I'm going to remove this by going to image processing, remove green noise, and apply. Now we're at the stage that we can stretch this. To do that, go to put this in linear mode and go to scripts, Python scripts. And this is the script that I showed you before, statistical stretch. Press that, and I'm happy with 0.20. Feel free to play around with it, but I'm generally happy with the default setting. There we go. It has stretched the image. And now what we want to do next is that you can see how the image is so busy. There's stars everywhere and looks messy. I want to fix that. And to do that, go to scripts, Python scripts DSA star reduction. Now, oh, sorry, let me save the image just in case it gets something might go wrong. So go to Python scripts again and DSA star reduction. And this is what's going to do the magic. So value is 0.1, 0.2 is good. Press apply. See the difference this has made. This makes the image look less busy and the star reduction works great. Next, what we usually do after this is I save this and then I go to app called or software called Graxpert and open that. So go to Graxpert. I've got some tutorials on Graxpert. Feel free to check that out. But we're going to load this image. Yep. And what we want to do is do some noise reduction. Now, I notice this is not very conventional. Many people don't do that, and that's fine. I don't want to judge anyone else, but this is how I do it. Now, some of you might be like, oh, that's not the right method, and fair enough. I get it, but I just like doing it that way. So feel free to follow me if you think it's good for you, but no offense taken if you don't do that. So yeah, essentially what I do is do noise reduction and bring this image back to SIRIL for further processing. There you go. Noise reduction is done. So we save this image, save selected, and we just save it. Excellent. Next, open this image up in SIRIL. Now I want to set the black point of the image. To do that, go to image processing, stretches, generalized hyperbolic stretch transformation, and we're going to select type of stretch to linear stretch. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring it back. So, as you can see, the further you go, the more contrasty it gets. But you see, I'm keeping an eye on this because I don't want to clip any shadows, right? So there you go. It says 0.004. So I'm going to go back. There you go. Excellent. So that means there's no shadows being clipped, and that's what we want. Apply. And once that's done, I want to stretch this further. So general hyperbolic transformation. And now you want to look at the center, right? Because that's the brightest spot in the image. And you don't want to overblow it, but you still want to stretch it a little bit. Let's see. This is a bit probably too much. Okay, let's bring highlight protection. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with this. All right, next we are going to turn up the saturation of this image. And to do that, go to image processing, color saturation, feel free to rescale. And there we go. Turn the colors right up. Now you don't want to overdo this. So I generally like it pink more. Don't want to go over the top. Yeah, that's good. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, happy with that. All right, let's apply that. Excellent. And from there, I go and do some deconvolution. And to do that, save the image, and we will pull our good old Graxpert back. Go to loading and load the latest image. There you go. And we're going to do deconvolution. To do that, just go to deconvolution, object only, yeah, and deconvolute image. There you go. So what deconvolution does is it sort of sharpens the image. It's not exactly right, but you know, that's the best way I can explain it. It sharpens the image. This is just one example of how I edit or process my images. There's much more to learn, but this is just a very basic way of editing, processing images. Let me know if you have any comments or any questions. I know I might have glossed over a few things already. Just hit me up, and I'm sure I can help you out in any way I can.